Everyone to the April 5th, 2026. The agenda says 2025. How you like that? I got you, Kathleen. I got you.
I never even saw it.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
April 8th, 2026. Okay,
Digress.
Lou, we have a public works agreement we want to discuss.
Yeah, the reason I have the, Elkton Ventures, they wanna get moving on this project. It's a commercial project on 1.2 acres of land. And it's situated, between, the apartments and, Gray Star Apartment, Oldman, Southfield now. The, Redner's, where the Redner's, Service Center is, or property plaza is, and Augustine Herman Highway. And they're building a commercial, development there. And the only public improvements involving the town specifically are manholes and piping or sewer lines there. And the utility easement that's 20 feet wide. So that's basically why they need a PWA, plus all the interior piping and roads and every parking lot and stuff will be commercially and privately owned. But we need a PWA to ensure that those manholes are properly installed, along with all the sewer lines and everything connected. Put that project in motion and hopefully get it started here.
Very good. Do we have a motion to accept the public works agreement, with Elkton Ventures LLC?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, I wanted to get that going.
Thank you. Is, Tyler coming in for the, audited financial?
Let's look at this. What an
Oh,
entrance.
perfect timing.
Perfect entrance there.
Perfect timing. Actually, we'll go around you while you're preparing. We have a vacancy on the Elkton Ethics Commission. I'd like to appoint Mr. Will Riddle from April 8th, 2026 through January 8th, 2031. Do we have a motion to accept Mr. Will Riddle? He's an attorney here in town, maybe our only attorney in town that lives in town, that will, put him on board the ethics board.
Also move.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And Dave, I didn't need that as a rub.
Understood.
You have a beautiful business here in Elkton.
Thank you, but I don't reside in Elkton.
I know, we needed to, it's always good to have a town resident on the boards. Okay, Tyler, what can you tell us about this fiscal 25 audited financial statement?
The financial summary by fund, the general fund, as we talked a little bit about before in the budget discussions earlier, had a, operational loss last year of, 1.1 million. Largely that's attributable to the fact that the ARPA money, has been spent. And in particular, the portion of the ARPA money that was allocated to general government projects. So to some extent, over the past few years, the ARPA funding has supplemented the general fund revenue. But that's no longer happening beginning in fiscal year 2025, which is the year of this audit. We have that issue, of course, to deal with in the current fiscal year, 2026 as well. And 2026, is still yet to be determined because we have a few months left remaining in the fiscal year. But that's going to be an issue going forward on an ongoing basis, but the town is adjusting to the new reality that there is no ARPA fund revenue for the general fund or any other fund after this fiscal year, after 2026. So operationally, that was a challenge last year, because revenue, expenses exceeded revenue. That's where we got the loss. The key impact of that for the town is a loss like that affects the unassigned fund balance of the general fund. It reduces the unassigned fund balance, which is not a good thing for the overall fund health. and rating agencies and whatnot, that's one of the key factors they look at is what's happening to your unassigned fund balance year to year. Is it increasing, decreasing, staying about the same? And that affects how they rate, your municipality. So we really need to focus on that from a budgetary standpoint going forward, that we want to try to protect and preserve the unassigned fund balance and then grow it if possible. So that's sort of the layout in the general fund. In the proprietary fund, we talked a little bit in the past too about this. On an operational basis in water and sewer, we recorded loss in each fund. In other words, the services providing the municipal water and wastewater service cost us more to provide than we charge residents for those services. But when taken as a whole with other funding sources, aside from the revenue we get from sending out utility bills, we get other sources of revenue in the proprietary funds, namely grants and other assistance in water and sewer, which on an overall basis taken as a whole, we end up doing okay. In other words, eating out a very small amount of net income in the water and sewer fund. So they're near break even, slightly above break even when taken as a whole. The operational issue will be somewhat addressed in the rate study we have going on right now, which is actively underway. That's one of the considerations that'll be looked at, is what the operational costs of the two funds are relative to the charges we make to residents for those services.
When do they expect the study to be in our hands and start reviewing?
I have a meeting with them actually right after this meeting to talk about the assumptions for the study.
Yeah.
And the direction they're going with the study. The plan was for the study to be finalized later this month. And then by early May, we would have something we can actually look at and analyze at the town level. So we're a few weeks away yet from that coming in, but they've been working on it for several months.
I think moving forward, of course, it's going to be like without ARPA money. Of course, we recognize that, and I think we're doing a good job of planning for that. And I think just so that everyone's aware that because it shows a loss doesn't mean that we did not have the money to fund that year. It just takes away from your general fund surplus that you have. And now in fiscal budget 2027, we're proposing a growth in that budget again, in that plan, as well as we're putting in a contingency fund for to grow for unexpected expenses, which is something that we've never done in the past, which I'm very proud that we're moving forward with that, which is very, very good. Is there any, in the audit, is there anything that we should be doing better as a management team? Staffing wise, can you elaborate?
Yeah, relative to findings and recommendations, there's a couple of repeat findings that the auditors have, and of course, we also repeat recommendations for those findings. We also eliminated a couple of findings that have been recurring for the town. The big existing and persisting recommendations are regarding segregation of duties within finance, and then also reconciliation. So that being general ledger reconciliation. Both of those, root cause of that is limited staff. Segregation of duties, dividing up the tasks in a particular process in such a way that no one person has access to multiple components of that process.
To give an example, for anyone that's listening, it would be going back, I would say 25 years ago. And in some cases, it's still continued, but you'd have, you're so tight staffed that that person could be writing the purchase orders as well as collecting the dollars coming in, as well as setting up new accounts for the town. And so we've done a pretty good job of starting to segregate that out as we grow.
Right.
But at one time, I remember there would be one person. So we have grown along, and we came a long way over the years with that, but
And
a
I
lot
will
of your
say,
smaller towns have that hiccup.
right, I will say just that same thing, that this is not an unusual finding, in municipal government for this particularly smaller towns, because you have limited ability to have a very large finance department in terms of staffing complement. So there's budgetary constraints that oftentimes won't allow you to eliminate a finding like this, because you're not willing to hire the 3 additional people, for example, that it takes to,
Yes.
eliminate that kind of finding. With regard to the, account reconciliation, we do have a position, added into the fiscal year 2027 budget that I think will help address that finding, which is also a staff complement, issue in terms of just having enough hands to do all of the tasks that we think we should be doing, as a finance department.
When would that position start?
The plan is hopefully to have them start as close to July 1 as possible. And I don't see why that can't happen. We're planning for that to be the hope, and, you know, the recruiting is really, the thing. We can post the job, how long it will take to find a qualified candidate, you don't know. But we definitely would like it to be as close to July 1 as possible.
Will this pretty much complement your department? I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
complete it?
in terms of basic function, there's a couple major things I think we're missing right now. One is the budget monitoring and reporting. So we've gotten some improved mayor and commissioners reporting that routinely happens monthly now. That needs to be expanded, in my mind, to a number of different areas, not just for mayor and commissioners, but for other reporting as well, that happens routine. And then, reconciliation is a big missing component, which is in fact a finding, one of the findings in this audit, meaning that on every single balance sheet account that we have should be reconciled every month. That includes all of the cash accounts that we have. Right now, just the sheer volume of that is not really feasible in the staff complement that we have. They can reconcile them with either less frequency, which has been the practice of the towns, not to reconcile them until the end of the year. And then sometimes not to reconcile at all.
That's happened many times.
Yeah. Or you can limit what you reconcile. Just don't reconcile everything, just reconcile a smaller subsection of what you have. So I would like to get to the point where we have the ability to do that reconciliation every month, for all of the balance sheet. I think that's a pretty critical thing. And then, accounts receivable and cash receipts. We need more oversight, more detailed work in that area. Right now, we have a serviceable operation. We don't have a fully reconciled operation. But this is additional position will give us a little bit more ability to do budget monitoring, reporting, reconciliation. I think are all key functions.
Well, I've recently said this, and I sincerely mean it. We've had some very good people in our finance department over the years, but I really like the team that you're putting together to make these things happen, and really appreciate that.
We've grown what, by 3?
Great,
At least 3?
yes. Yep,
Great work. Thank you. Appreciate your.
love this team.
Well,
Any other questions for Tyler?
With the offer, and we are done with that, where did that follow information or the information in totality, who did that go to? At what level?
The audit.
Yeah.
Reports. So they go first to me, and then Lewis also gets, because, we both have to sign, the town administrator and I have to sign off on all of the reporting, the management recommendation letters, the representation letters, et cetera. And then ultimately it goes on public disclosure on our website.
So they in turn will send something back to you stating in your CDOT, you have finalized the report as required?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess, how much money were we sorting through with all that was given to the town of Elkton?
In
600 miles, 10 mil.
for the ARPA, yeah, for the ARPA piece. Are you talking about in terms of the entire?
The entire amount, because we went through a whole lot, we did a whole lot with that, but I don't think we were at, well, we might have been given the total amount, but I'm just asking again.
The total ARPA was, 15.6 million.
Okay, that's about right, yeah. And it was different in, different municipalities as well. I guess even so, probably misused by a lot of municipalities as outlined, but I guess everybody got through it. Cause I know a lot of things that happened, like Baltimore City and others, how it was infusing government spending when it shouldn't have been. Lewis, I guess, kept us on par with that because we asked that question many times, but if nobody's knocking on the door, you're done okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, the last project, I believe, that we finished using ARPA money is the, UV, upgrade in the wastewater treatment plant. With a Trojan, UV system in there, and it's been completed. So I think that's the last of the big capital projects.
That's
All right.
correct.
Thank you.
That was a sewer proprietary fund.
Thanks a lot.
And we've been able to take that ARPA money, whatever was, in those accounts, allocated to the correct fund today, which is great. Thank you. Any other questions for Tyler? Thank you, sir. All right, Elkton Police Department, Officer Devine and Officer Salisbury, come on down. Are you gonna be able to set this drone up in here? Come on, we wanna see it.
We do not have this drone yet.
Oh, you don't have this one.
We were hoping to have it before today, but it has not arrived.
I was, Lewis was very happy with, Anthony flying that drone the other day, I guess, for him.
Saved a lot of hiking over a mountain of goat.
It was easy with the drone, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Took him about a minute to find my well that I couldn't find.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. Can you fly one over like Charlie's house for me every once in a while?
Kathleen, can I share screens with you?
You know, we were a little nervous, when we used to hear, I was a little nervous when they used to use the word drone initially.
Oh, yeah, when it first started. Yeah.
And we thought that people would be flying them, looking into your windows, and, I was getting calls, quite a few calls from folks saying, if I'm not home, someone's flying a drone looking through my windows, I'm nervous. And I don't think any of that.
What are you gonna do?
No, that's what we're here today to get ahead of.
Yeah, this is good.
Are they illegal at some point, like for people to be flying?
So over a certain weight limit, you need a license for them, and if you're flying commercially, you need a license for it. So obviously we have a drone already. We actually bought a second drone. We bought a small interior drone to be able to fly inside for search warrants. But we decided to move forward with a program called Drone as a First Responder. What is Drone as a First Responder? Drone as a First Responder is a program that utilizes the drone to dispatch to 911 calls. It's different than what a lot of places do. It'll provide immediate aerial real-time situational awareness to the officers responding. Drones obviously fly in a straight line, they're not hampered by traffic. It makes being able to get there a much easier thing for us to do. And the feedback you'll be able to get from that will allow us to make critical decisions much faster and much safer.
So I'm gonna ask a question as we're doing this, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So if there's a call that comes into 911, they dispatch us, wherever the drone operator is, he would be able to put that thing in the air and go right to that site if it's an emergency situation.
Yes, this drone will be flown from a computer primarily.
Wow,
So anywhere you have internet service, we'd be able to fly from.
that's,
The company we're going with is called Brink. Their motto is technology in the service of public safety. Their mission is to revolutionize public safety by leveraging technology to de-escalate dangerous situations. They say that every drone deployed to a dangerous situation is one less individual in harm's way and a potential life saved. Over 900 public safety agencies around the world use Brink drones. And one of the things we really like about Brink is they only service public safety agencies. They do not work commercially, they do not work with the military, they only do public safety, and that is their only focus. So it gives us a lot of ability to get feedback from them and give them feedback to make sure that we're helping each other in this.
and you can talk through this also.
Yes. So this is a brief video. This is from Brink to give you an idea of what this drone use would look like. It's not, looks nicer on my screen than that.
911, what is your emergency? What's that next line name? What is the address? Jackson A. Martin, 6360 North 83rd Street. Responder 100, arrival in 45 seconds. Edward 9, your minute time. Edward 11, ETA 6. Caller state, 2 white males standing outside, possibly armed, 1 white male inside. We have our numbers help responders. We have our robbery responders. Pull up the drone feed. We thought back there on the site. Yeah, man. Army. Fire. Appears to be a lighter. Responder 1, affirmative. Object appears to be a lighter and not tall limit. Copy. We'll make contact with. Not hard to imagine how the situation is. First, it's building a system to give first responders more information before they arrive. No response time. Specialized reposition on a target. Repeating locations throughout a community. The system is integrated with 911, computer-aided dispatch, and other software to deploy the air autonomous. These drones deliver life-saving payloads faster than ever. With an onboard two-way audio system, responders can even communicate remotely to provide instruction. All right, we have Elkton and Joe, and we've dispatched the drone that's equipped with an AED. Can you give me updates, understand? They can also gather intel, de-escalate a situation. Drones can be deployed in the field, fast bird's eye view, and generate 3D models for communication or use. EFR allows first responders to see and smoke and identify hotspots or locate suspects and divide the response and minimize the risk. The drones also measure for extended range. Agencies around the country have already adopted EFR coverage. On average, they clear a quarter of all 911 calls with drones alone. They get eyes on scene in less than 70 seconds. Enter the future of public safety today with great EFR. This is just the beginning.
Sorry, I'm not saying much.
Listen, that's pretty impressive. is it dispatched from here?
So it'll be connected in with the county's dispatch system.
Okay.
So, from here in Brink's programming, as soon as someone calls 911 and their GPS location goes in, it'll notify into Brink's system and show us exactly where that is. From that point, all you'll have to do is say, yes, I want to send the drone, and click on that, and the drone will launch out of that box.
But yes, the drone will be here on the roof of this.
On the roof of this. Now, is Brinks the same system the county will be using?
So the county is going with Axon,
Okay.
which is another, there's really three big companies. We chose Brink. We loved working with them so far. Their customer service has been great. Axon's a good company too. We looked at them. They're all priced pretty much the same.
Mhm.
It was just a matter of what features and which company we felt was.
There wouldn't be any conflict or any, software issues for the county to,
No.
good.
And in fact, we're kind of paving the way for them with their program, because we're already working through that connection, which then they'll use on their end.
So what you was just asking, normally the citizens get confused with calling a certain number instead of just 911. We used to have that same
Yeah.
issue with, oh, you gotta call such and such. So you're gonna make sure that's not.
Yeah, so they'll never be calling the drone. The drone will just be launching based off the call for service. So you'll call 911 like always, and then someone will launch this drone.
That's gonna be up to the drone operator to decide if the drone should be launched or should not be launched.
And that's our decision.
Yes. So like the video said, you know, it's got a visual camera, it's got a 40 times zoom on it. It has a thermal camera, so you can see heat signatures. And then the loudspeaker and microphone allow you to talk through the drone, so you can actually communicate with people from the drone.
Do you expect to use this outside of the corporate limits?
So range-wise, this drone will be able to get, it's about a 3-mile range that they've told us. So we're not gonna get much farther than corporate limits of Elkton with it. In an emergency, we would have the ability to physically take the drone like out of the box and drive somewhere with it and use it though.
That's what you did to find well, 3.
Yes.
You took that out there.
So what is the effectiveness of day and night with the drone? It's almost like, you know, a day we drive a car, at night we got to put the headlights on. So I'm thinking in terms of, again, when night sometimes probably can be a factor without all the light.
So that's where we would use that thermal camera, because you'll be able to see a heat signature. So you'd be able to see a person, a car, you can see them pretty clearly with the thermal.
Any well-lit area also, the camera can adapt to being able to see as well, like you saw in the video. I mean, that's footage coming from the drone.
It's good.
We don't want there to be confusion, so this is what the drone looks like. Ours will look a little different, the markings on the side will be different, but it will say Elkton Police Department on it. It'll be easily identifiable. And as you saw in the video, it has red and blue lights on it that we can activate, so there won't be confusion on when this drone is flying. We want to be transparent with our community, and as part of that, Brink provides a public-facing website that will go off of our website. This is another agency that's using it. This is what it looks like. So I just screen grabbed off of theirs. They had 699 flights. They had 51 arrests that the drone assisted. They avoided dispatch of a police officer 116 times by sending the drone.
Wow.
The drone beat police officers to the scene 394 times. And it was only in the air an average of 13 minutes for a call. It's essentially your eyes in the sky before you get there. Once officers are on scene and everything's fine, you don't need the sky. And then this wheel, I know it's kind of hard to see. This lays out the types of calls, so you can see what type of calls the drone goes to the most. And then on top of that, obviously there's going to be questions on, you flew over my house or did you fly over my house? The website actually tracks where the drone goes, and that would post to that site also. So anybody in the public would be able to go on here, search date and time, and see exactly where the drone flew, what type of call it flew to, and the event number for that call.
That's good. So, how many different operators will there be?
We're looking to have about 10 people.
So That's always being covered
So that's the hope.
on shift.
I'll fly primarily while I'm here. We'll have other officers flying. So we should be able to launch this drone pretty much any time of day.
I heard you mention, the range, is it roughly 3 miles or whatever. What's the difference between, now, I'm asking this because my brother does, production work for, documentaries and stuff. And he had one that ranged anywhere from 5 to 8 miles, because he followed horses and tracked
Yeah.
them.
So in a perfect world, this one could fly much farther. It has a 3 mile radius on it, just because you want to stay within that range of your box and how long your battery life is. We could in theory fly farther, but if I fly out 6 miles and I can only be there for 2 minutes, I'm not really benefiting my officers going to the call.
And yours is ranged from, you said your tower, that it would pick up from, not the battery, but from,
So this drone uses a radio frequency antenna, which we're gonna install on the roof. And it also has, cell phone cards, so it has, 5G cards in it that it'll run off of when it doesn't have that radio signal.
So are we good for the 3 miles to cover the entire, yeah?
Yes, we're very fortunate in Cecil County that all of the airspace is public here. There's no restricted airspace. And then we've already received a waiver from the FAA to fly the drone outside of our line of sight, so we're comfortable in that.
How well do they operate in heavy rain and snow?
I haven't tested this drone in the rain or the snow yet, because I don't have it, but it should fly just fine. The current drone that we have flies just fine in the rain and the snow. This one will be rated for about 30-mile-an-hour winds, so it shouldn't be a problem flying in bad weather.
And battery life is normally,
It's usually around 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
okay,
We're expanding too.
We would love to have two, but we gotta start somewhere, and we're starting with one.
Anthony, tell them about you're gonna get a mini drone you can use for search warrants.
So we have acquired a small drone that we bought to use, Brink sells one. We didn't want to commit to something yet that we weren't sure about, so we bought a smaller drone. You fly with VR goggles, and our plan is to use it for search warrants. When we need to go into a house, because we can send that drone in to look before we have to send a person in.
yeah,
That's good.
Everything about a drone program just creates a safety barrier for officers.
listen, that commercial that they showed is a great example.
When you have a drone fly into a house, can't somebody like attack it?
They can, so the interior drone is cool, it actually will flip itself back over, so if you knock it down, it'll flash, it'll say, impact detected. And if it ends up upside down, you can switch it into turtle mode, it'll flip itself back over and then just fly again.
This drone, the DFR drone, with Brink, it comes with a great warranty. If it gets damaged, for any reason, they will fly it, they'll send us one next day. So, comes with a great warranty, and that's at no extra cost, it's part of our commitment.
Listen, this is, improving safety all around. Officer safety, resident safety, this is wonderful.
And we're both open to, if anyone in the community wants to come reach out and talk to us about it, we're open to talk about, the program, everything like that.
Very good.
We want this to be something that the public understands, that's why we're gonna do a public facing website and everything, and educate them, so when they do see a drone flying around, they understand that for a good reason.
Perfect.
We are looking to install the last week of this month. And then it'll be a brief period where we've got to do some training. I think that's my last slide here. All of our pilots will have their FAA licenses, and then we are gonna train them to level 1 and level 2 courses from the National Institute of Standards and Technology. That way we make sure everybody is safe in what they're doing.
Wonderful.
Anybody have any other questions?
Any other questions for the team?
I love this idea, I like if we're getting it.
All good?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you very
for your
much.
time.
Thanks.
Nice. Very good. Okay, anyone from the board have anything today for the good of the town of Elkton?
I gave a call this morning, I think about a meter being jammed down in front of the hospital. I'm not sure if that was okay.
Yeah.
I
got it.
Thank you, good. I didn't want to get a ticket, I could get it for them.
It happens all the time on that one meter.
Okay,
People just put money in too quick and it jams it.
appreciate it. Yeah.
This morning I met with Bill Faton and Dan Henry and Brian from Public Works, and Angelina was there. And we were discussing again the streetscape along Elkton. We have definite plans, nothing's written down yet, but I definitely want to talk more about that with you guys and get your input.
Very good. We have the, unveiling of the Lafayette Trail sign today at 2:00. And that's gonna be by the Blue Vault, or by the, Frenchtown Water Tower.
Yeah, 199 Princeton Road.
So
Public
anyone
Works
that
already put the sign up and they have it covered right now.
So, the unveiling will be promptly at 2:00, and it shouldn't be no more than 30 minutes is what my understanding is. I'll say a few words, and if anyone else wants to say a few words, you're certainly welcome to. Anything?
The Alliance, are they having someone to cover the farmer's market for something on Saturday?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
The Elkton Alliance, are they having someone down there to sell something? And this comes on, somebody must be spreading the rumor, but if so, I'll call you back. Okay.
Because I know Kathleen, I'm sorry, I know Kathleen sent us something about somebody renting it, but that's not through us.
Thought you might know that, since should be a relationship between the town and the Alliance. Kathleen, is there anything you might be able to?
We'll give the information, just as Angelina had said, as an awareness, that there will be something going on, I believe I don't recall which date it is, excuse me, but I think it's in the next couple of weeks, of this fundraiser event of some sort going on here.
Thank you.
Very good. Anyone in the audience have anything to say for the good of the town? Anything on the Zoom meeting? Hey, look how many people's on the Zoom meeting
I
today.
do have one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Gene.
The pavilions, I mean, it's April, so, I don't know what kind of schedule is going on for making sure that they're cleaned up, but, you know, come May and June, there's gonna be a lot of graduation parties, picnics, things like that. I'd like it that if Mary McGaw rented a pavilion, that she could reach out to Public Works right away to make sure.
I think that's a good point. Mary, are you on the, Zoom? I don't see Mary, but I see Dan.
He's off to that,
Dan, hey, Dan, we'll make sure that Mary coordinates with you, that if we, rent any of those pavilions, that we make sure we get down there and clean them up real good. I know beginning of the year, they may not be as, clean as we'd like them, but it might be something you can get on top of.
Yeah, we just blasted them all initially to see we'll stay on top of them. We just power washed them, I think, last week, so we're on top of it. No problem.
Good.
Thank you.
Does any of those pavilions need to be reshingled?
No, I'll look into it. They could probably, one of them could definitely use some love. I'll look into it and I'll get back with the board.
Very good. I know, we have a roofer in town that is looking to donate time and materials, and he would like to just put a little sign compliments of Robin Hood exteriors. But he's asked me multiple times if there's anything like that in the town that we need to be any exterior work, he'd be happy to do it at no charge, but we'd have to give him a little plaque of knowledge, but I'm happy to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good trade.
Problem.
So just let us know.
Yes, sir.
Or any of our buildings, no?
Yep. I don't know if we can go that big. All right, very good. Lou, we didn't forget about you. We'll talk to you a little later, next week.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.
I just need you to sign this PWA so I can get it off the ground.
Perfect. All right. Meeting adjourned. Let's go see Lafayette.